Afternoon, all you happy people. It is 2/16/2026, President's Day in America. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. Due to weak presidents, corrupt politicians, both federally, state, and in local areas, a weak border, almost non-existent border for many years, and very, very lax vetting of legal immigration and the granting of visas. We have Chinese dissidents infiltrating our colleges of higher learning. These institutions are also R&D for many of the technologies and pharmaceuticals and just about every aspect of our life. China does not allow random passports and visas Chinese citizens to leave China. This is a absolute fact. Without signing a loyalty contract and an agreement to bring whatever learnings that they have, if they're on an educational visa, back to the homeland. And this was allowed, guys. We allowed these people to come into our country. And for educational purpose, let them into our colleges, and then not only let them into our colleges, but let them to expire their visas, stay on our land, infiltrate our colleges in a teaching situation where they become leaders, which they get more and more access to more and more R&D, and they send it back home. We also have refugees using our system, coming over here, getting naturalized citizenship that was afforded to them as refugees. They did not come here to assimilate into America. The Chinese did not come here to. They can't assimilate into America. They have a contract with their home country. In their home country, if they do not do as their government says, their families are held hostage on them. It's not a new thing. This was well done in Nazi Germany and throughout history. You have Sharia law being established in our country. A theopolitical organization. Much like Judaism, being a Jew is not only a way of life like we are Christians, it is also a political foundation because it has the law of Moses. The Romans came in, they established their law, but the Jews also had to follow their own law in amongst Roman law. Same situation with Islam. Islam has its own theologically political governance. It is not only a religion, but it is a governance set by the religion. There are countless videos on YouTube where people come up and they'll say, okay, they'll be addressing a group just to show an example of Muslims. Looks in the audience looks like every work of life. Everything from a construction guy, a dishwasher, a restaurant owner, a medical person, and stuff like that. Every walk of life. And he asked them, do you believe in stoning and chopping off heads as written in Quran? The punishments of the Quran, are they the best punishments available? Every single one of them raised their hands. To be Muslim means you follow the whole of the Quran. To leave Islam is death. This does not work with it is they're trying to push it as religious freedom. It is a religion, yes, but it is also a political ideology as well, because it polices itself. You see it all over the place in London. London has fallen. Germany is not German anymore. German people would rather own dogs than make babies. And they let thousands of refugees come in, and now they're having 8, 10, 12 babies. They're breeding like a germ in Germany, and it's no longer German, it is Islam. London has fallen. It is no longer London, it is Islam. And why did that happen? It's because in Germany you're not allowed to have weapons. In London you're not allowed to have weapons. They're not even allowed to have a pocket knife anymore in London. It's coming, guys. I've been talking about it for years now. There are compounds in Texas where they're training. They're training compounds for Islam. They're no-go zones. Police won't go there. Why? Because these zones and these compounds are armed to the teeth. We couldn't root them out with our personal police. And evidently they're not making any kind of woo to get them out of there with our military. We're being systematically bred. We're being attacked through our own reproductive systems, guys. We've got Hispanics and Latinos coming in here waving their flags and having 15, 20 babies because Catholics don't believe in birth control. Islam doesn't believe in birth control. China, they believe in birth control, but when you come over here, you can definitely have all the babies you want over here in America. A cancer grows. One cell divides into two. Two cells divide to three. Three cells divide to four. And finally, the host body is killed by the growth of the tumor. The tumor demands too much resources, too much blood, too much oxygen, too much nutrition, too many calories. The body itself can't feed it fast enough and feed itself. That's why you shrivel up and die. We can't feed all the illegal immigrants here and feed ourselves. We can't have our Constitution and a theopolitical entity working parallel in our country. We cannot have our country, our top secret R&D and stuff like that as a country that does not build anything anymore. We invent shit all day long. We have not got the factory infrastructure to build anything. But our R&D is next to none. Is second to none. And that shit's getting sent over left and right. And all the shit that they're building over here that we're buying is all tagged with Chinese back doors. Yes, Obama deported more illegal immigrants than Trump ever did. And, Trump's catching up, but Obama let the refugees in. The left hand kicked out the illegal aliens. But while we were watching all that, or not, he brought in the refugees. And I said something about it, guys. I did not like that back in the day. But there's too much shit going on for even my radar. People talk about Trump plays 4D chess. Guys, this is 10D fucking chess. There's so many different boards going on trying to kill us. Trying to take our nation. Guys, and we're sitting there letting them do it. Our politicians, we've got Karens trying to stop the politicians who are trying to save us. You know, when you've got people who hate a country so much that not only that they do not see the problem until they've helped kill the country. And only once the new regime comes in and establishes its rule of law do they finally realize what they lost. It's because we've become very, very, very weak as a country. We don't make anything. Yes, we have farms here. But farms ain't what they used to be. We used to have the bread belt. The whole center of America was farms. But we've subsidized so much. We've federalized so much. We've taxed our farmers to the point where they can no longer keep multi-generation farms. And those who do have it have managed to survive. They're so far in debt that, it's like, the old song, I owe my soul to the company store. The family is stealing from Peter to pay for Paul. Just to make it meet. They have to invest in technology, becoming less and less organic. Food companies have to stretch what little bit we've got. They'll take, a pound of ground beef, mix it with so many chemicals and fillers, and make, 15 pounds of chicken nuggets. Or you know what I'm talking about. They'll take one drumstick and make, 100 chicken nuggets for McDonald's out of it. Out of that one drumstick. That's bone. That's marrow. That's meat. That's skin. All that is ground into a mush and throwed fillers and chemicals in artificial flavors and made, 100 McNuggets out of that drumstick. Take a pound of ground beef, mix it with so many fillers, we've now made, 20 pounds of hamburger patties for, McDonald's. I don't know if Trump is the greatest president in the world. He has some flaws. I voted for him, but I'm not a Trump worshiper like some of these people are. Proof is in the pudding. Whether Trump turns into the greatest president in the world or the worst president in the world or somewhere in between, we won't know that for another 2 years when his presidency ends. Will we then look around and see what he did? Let's roll.